We're here at the Carrollton Lodge. Carrollton Lodge is significant in the story of the Mountain Meadows Massacre because this is where the travelers spent their first night on their route to California. And it's also significant in the story because this is where 15 of the 17 survivors were brought back to in 1859 by an Army ambulance that brought the kids back here to be divided up and meet their kinfolk that remain here in Arkansas.
This was a Masonic Lodge, VFW, and American Legion all used these facilities. It was built around 1853 and destroyed by fire during the Civil War by the Jayhawkers. The lodge president, the formation of it, was actually done by Colonel James Fancher, which was my great-great-grandfather. James proceeded to be a leader in the community. His farm was up at Osage and was where he had a store and was there until the Civil War destroyed it, and he had to go to Texas like most people in this area did to protect himself. James also was the individual who put up the money to help rescue the kids of the Mountain Meadows Massacre. They were brought here to the lodge and spent the night. The families were brought to the park nearby, and that's where they were reunited with them, and that was around 1859.
In early April of 1857, a wagon train left Arkansas down by Beller Springs, just south of Harrison, off of Highway 7. From there, the wagon train moved out west. This location is especially important because in 17, children came back here their first night. Those are the 17 surviving children from the massacre. There was wagon trains that brought them back here to meet their family. The soldiers came and found the site of the mass killing fields of the bodies left there. They had been destroyed by wolves, other wild animals. No one has done anything to try to take care of those bodies that were laid there. They were stripped of their clothing, of anything that they had worth of value, were taken back to their own home. And the soldiers, when they came in, they said it was a horrible massacre site. They took the bodies and buried them the way that the Army's particular order commanded them to bury them, in mass graves. And there were several mass graves that were done. Then up the trail, they located other bodies and buried all of them.
This replica and cross that we are standing by here now was erected in 2005, and the purpose of putting a 2/3 scale replica here at Carrollton was because at that time we were not getting along very well with the LDS Church out in Utah. There are a lot of locals here that are related to this wagon train. Therefore, we decided to erect a replica, a 2/3 scale replica of the cross and the rock that Major Carleton installed whenever they buried the dead in Utah in 1859. The soldiers etched on the cross, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." They also carved on a stone as a marker that reads, "Here 120 men, women, and children were massacred in cold blood early in September 1857. They were from Arkansas." Brigham Young and an entourage from Salt Lake visited the site. Young saw this tribute that the soldiers had erected, and it angered Young. Brigham Young put his arm in the shape of the day-night square, and in just a matter of moments, all was destroyed. The Mountain Meadows Monument Foundation decided they would erect this replica monument here in Arkansas so they could come here and honor and remember the dead as they choose. Because understand, in 2005 in Utah, it wasn't as peaceful for us at that time because the monument, all the land that was involved is all owned by the LDS Church. Therefore, you never do know whenever a gate's going to be locked or things are going to be closed off. So that's why we chose to honor and remember our dead here in Arkansas as well.
I'm Harley and Diane Fancher's granddaughter, and I've known about Mountain Meadows for about as long as I can remember, but I truly got involved with Mountain Meadows in the summer of 2024, where me and my friends went down to the Boone County Historical Museum, and they said that they wanted a timeline to be done about Mountain Meadows to get kids more involved with this. So I talked to my grandparents about it, and we came up with the plan, and I made a whole timeline and got from where they started down in Arkansas and all their journey along up through the west and down through Utah. And on the timeline, I put the dates where they went through Cedar City and all the other towns and when they finally got down to Mountain Meadows. I have a passion for learning about history about Arkansas, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of this and learning more about my family history, and I can't wait to be more involved with this.
We have rocks from Mountain Meadows. We have 17 rocks because 15 of the children came back at this location to meet their family. 2 of the children were taken on up to Washington, D.C. so that they could tell their story, what they had witnessed of that tragic accident. Many were held by their moms when they were shot or when they were clubbed to death, and the kids remember that. They remember going into the towns of Cedar City there and saw dresses that their mom had wore with bloodstains all over it. It was a terrible sight that they had witnessed and still were trying to get over the story. The testimony of the children has been recorded, and the children that were brought here were able to find some form of a family that they could go live with and be raised by.